Alright, what is up, boys? I'm coming with another build video. This is something I tried out last night that it's nothing super new. It's new for now because no one's really playing this build right now. And I mean, there are some things about it that are pretty new, but I wanted to show off a new build that I think is actually pretty damn good. Now, just a warning, as always, these builds are not as good with bad gear. I've had people say like, hey, what could you run just on a budget kit, or with a budget kit, what would you run? This really isn't going to work with a budget kit. It's not going to work really unless you have a decent amount of money to buy gear, as you can see I do. But for the most part, you're not going to want to try to run this build unless you have really good gear to do it, because it has very, very high requirements for what you need. Primarily, you need a lot of stats, you need a lot of HP, a lot of move speed, and you still need solid tankiness. Keep in mind, this move speed and PDR here is not affected by Swift or Defense Mastery yet because it is bugged, so it doesn't show it out. It doesn't show it, the full effect out of game. It won't show the Swift and Defense Mastery effect until your end game. In game, this movement speed is about 100.1%, and the PDR is around 50%, give or take. I'm not sure exactly the number. It's like somewhere around there. But okay, moving on to the build. As the whole idea behind this build is having very, very high mobility. That's why you see I'm wearing something like Templar, I'm wearing a Chappelle, and I mean, see, the plate boots here aren't exactly, this isn't the best piece you could wear, right? You could definitely wear heavy boots, for example, and heavy boots would be much better. As you see, I get a whole 1.2% move speed over the plate boots. However, the reason I'm wearing these plate boots is because these are really, really good rolls, and these heavy boots right here, which are in theory better, well, not in theory, they are better. These are for my best gear set, not this one, because I made this not knowing how well it would actually work, so I wasn't gonna run some really insane boots on a set that I might lose because it's bad, right? It just wasn't gonna happen. But alright, in our weapon choices, we have the arming sword and the buckler. The reason we're using buckler isn't for blocking. It's literally just because it is a stat stick that gives defensive stats, armor rating, PDR, health, while having a very low movement speed penalty. Like, yes, you could use a lantern with this. However, the lantern gives you no defensive capabilities, the same way like a buckler does. And it's just, overall, I don't think it's as good. And you're only getting about 2% faster for way less, like, tankiness. You're losing, like, right, I would be losing 40 armor, 1.3 PDR, and 3 max health for like, a little over 2 movement speed, or 2% movement speed. Really not that worth it. And then arming sword, same reason. It's less movement speed penalty than the falchion. You see, it's like, it's 5 less. So I think arming sword is very good. I do actually want to try falchion with this, and I probably will do so later when I play, just because arming sword is a very weak weapon, even with good rolls. And arming sword is doing very, very little damage, and I would like to try falchion with it. One of the main reasons I want to try falchion being that I've had plenty of times. I have some clips of this build that I will show after. I mean, clips. I mean, I should go through my VOD and show you some fights where I have to hit people two, three, or three or even 4 times to kill them because arming sword is very, very low damage as opposed to this falchion. I know for a fact I would kill them in at most 3 hits, probably 2. But anyways, other than that, I think the one really interesting thing about this is my perk choices here and my skill choice. Obviously, I'm sure most of you have never used this skill before, never seen anyone use this skill. This is Taunt. What Taunt does for PvE is it increases the aggro value to all monsters within a 7.5 meter radius or area by 50%. Just means you get more aggro if monsters more likely to hit you. But ignoring that irrelevant part, the relevant part and the reason we're running it is you gain 10% physical damage reduction and 10% magical damage reduction for 8 seconds. And the thing is about this is the cooldown starts when you pop it, so it's like a 20-second cooldown or something, or like a little over 20-second cooldown, but it's ticking down while it's on you, so it's really not that long of a cooldown, so it's very easy to get more than one taunt off in a fight, as opposed to Second Wind. Second Wind's a 1 use for 12 seconds. And there's a few reasons I'm choosing Taunt over Second Wind here. One of the big reasons is because Second Wind, the maximum, the healing gets reduced by Fire Mastery. I'm sorry, I should have moved my chair. The maximum healing gets reduced by Fire Mastery. It's by 50%, so you're only healing 20% of your max health over 12 seconds. Or, as long as the Fire Mastery is anti-healing you. And if that happens, then this spell's basically worthless. This shit's worth, like, less than a lesser heal. It's just awful. And the thing is, it's a 12-second duration. The whole point of this build is you do not want to fight to go 12 seconds. If you get caught on an enemy frontliner and you draw the fight out, you will lose. You have less damage, you're not as tanky, Like, that's not what this build is designed for. This build is designed to go in and end the fights very, very fast. You are a backline diver. This build plays pretty much how a barbarian would, where you are looking to get past the front line and get onto their backline and kill them. You are looking to target the wizard, the ranger, hell, even the bard or the cleric if you can. If it's a squishy cleric, cleric's a great target. But generally, this build, this is the core of this build is the wizard's nightmare. You like they don't even want they want to die. That's what you want this build to do. You want to make the wizards die. You want to run at them as fast as possible and obliterate their souls. Make them cry about how OP fighter is when they're wrong. That's what this build is designed for. Like, I want to play this build enough that I have wizards complaining. Like, I want them to cry about fighter with this build. That's the whole point of this build. And for perk choices, we still have Defense Master Swift because he's still very OP with even heavy, like even if I'm not wearing super heavy armor, still very, very good. Dual wield, still bug, works with shield. Just self-explanatory. Gonna run it, great for action speed. And then projectile resistance. This is actually something I tried out, and this is very, very useful for technically 3 things. Primarily 1 thing, magic missile. This reduces the damage magic missile does to you, and it's by a pretty significant margin too. It's actually quite a bit. I've tested it with an on and off, and it is a lot less damage than magic missile does to you. It is a noticeable amount. It also helps with damage from ice bolt and fireball, but those aren't quite as relevant. Mainly just magic missile. That's the one you're actually going to be getting value out of it hitting, or that you're getting value out of because it's going to be hitting you directly most of the time. It only affects fireball's direct damage, not the splash damage too, so that's pretty irrelevant. So like I said, this right here, we're running it just for magic missile, and it's like, oh wow, you're running a perk just for 1 thing? Like, yes, that's how broken it is. You have to do literally anything you can to avoid getting clapped by it. Like, that's just, it's stupid, but it's just how it works right now. But okay, I mean, for gear choices and like stat choices, as you see, you want something like this. Like, these right here are literally your best stats. Agi, max health, move speed bonus. Same with this, you see on my cloak, max health bonus, move speed bonus, or additional move speed. Helmet, strength, max health. Ideally, this would have move speed on it too. Like, ideally, you would get move speed on literally every piece possible. Because you see, I have it here, I want it here, and on my gloves, but, I just don't have it. And same with my helmet. You want a good amount of HP. Like, honestly, I want to upgrade this kit and make it better. My friend has a kit that I can actually maybe pull up a screenshot and show you right now. He's running the same kit, but his gear is even better than mine in this kit. Let me open link, pull this up, and I will do window capture. All right, there you go. You see, this is his kit. He's running the exact. You see, he's running pretty much the exact same gear setup as me. He does have the golden heavy boots and the golden cape on, which they're good. However, once again, like the downside is, you see, he does have, like, if you look at my stats here, while he is faster, he's about 3.5% faster, and he's 16 more HP. He has like 9% less armor. So there are trade-offs. That's kind of the trade-off of wearing the golden cloak for one, and then I guess he probably just doesn't have armor rolled on certain pieces. But other than that, like, this is ideally what you'd want your gear to look like. This is like the Gigabyss version of it. This is like absolutely insane, like incredible. And keep in mind, this is out of game, so these stats will further increase. So he'll have like 104% default move speed, and like probably 45, 50% PDR with his shield outs, maybe, or I guess probably about 50% with shield out plus defense mastery. So like these kits are very, very good. And this is like I said, this right here is pretty much like, this is getting damn near like Gigabyss. Like, it almost doesn't get better than his kit. And that's what I'm trying to get my kit to right now, but it's just hard to find the pieces. But alright, now on to some clips I wanted to show just of the build, kind of how it works. I'm not going to include any audio. So we see a rogue wizard team in here. And like I said, the whole point of this is just to sprint at the wizard. It makes it really hard for ninja spells. I popped taunt, so look how little damage that lightning strike actually did to me. And this guy literally just has there's just nothing he can do. He's just trying to run, and he just cannot run for me. He's not fast enough. Goes for a magic missile, can't do it, and he's dead. Alright, other than that one, let me find the next clip, because I have my timing right here somewhere that I have to go to. 254.40. Let me look for that one. 254.40. Alright, so context for this right here. Our teammate died on the first floor to PvE, trying to get into a portal. He got body blocked. We know there's a geared team down here in hell with us, and my cleric is in the room, the top middle room. He is baiting for, what's it called? He is baiting to. God, I can't think right now. Oh my god, I'm sorry. He's baiting the people that are in the room, like in the boss room, because they're coming into our room. And he's sitting here telling me that they're that they're coming, and he says like they're in now. And I walk in, I see the wizard, and I just go on this guy. And once again, because I'm so fast, he literally cannot run from me. See, that right there is the thing I'm talking about. That took 3 hits and I got to kill him. I had to kill him with my 4th hit. And if his cleric had been a little bit better, he probably would have got the heal off on this guy, and it could have been bad. So that's what I was saying about the arming sword, and I don't really feel super like good about it. If I maybe had more damage in my kit, it'd be more viable. However, not the greatest. And this, this isn't like long. Like this right here is what I mean by like a shorter fight. Is I get there and like I insta kill the wizard and I back up. Ideally, if this were a 3v3 at this point, it literally my wizard just kills everybody left because there's no threat to him because I killed their wizard. And that's kind of the whole point of this. And you see, I see him rezzing all the way over there, and this is something like, look, literally just straight past the frontliner, straight over to the cleric, prevent the res. And their fighter literally just cannot keep up with me. There's nothing you can do. Like I'm literally just too fast for him. You see, this gets pretty close, but it's when the goat's on duty, it's never close. We kill the cleric, and then we just slowly kill this very tanky fighter. Just have a little slap fight. See, and I pop taunt again, more taunt value. And when I pop taunt, I'm pretty much just as tanky as this guy is, if not tankier. And he is just very slowly dying, and there he goes. Down. All right, and then I think one more. Let me see. I have 134, 54. Let's see this. I think this is one of the best examples of it. It's probably one of my favorite ones. Skip through. Okay, so we see this wizard here. We see this wizard team here. And I'm just like, looking for a crossbow shot at him. I don't even know if I hit anyone there. But I pop a protection potion. And we see them sitting here. And I know my goal. I'm going straight past this fighter. He just tries to block me because he thinks I'm going to hit him. Straight on the wizard. Wizard dies instantly. I even move around the cleric here and the fighter to prevent them from going through the doorway and lock them in here for my team to kill them. And just hold them here. Wizard runs in behind. Insta-kills them because Wizard's the most OP class in the game. And GG. Just like that. They are dead. So, that is pretty much... That is like a short little, that it's like... I mean, obviously, it's not going to work like that every time. But generally speaking, that is how you want to play the fights. For example, because the whole point is... If you kill their backliner... Like, let's say they're running... let's say, because I run Fighter, Wizard, Cleric. That's my comp. Let's say I'm fighting another Fighter, Wizard, Cleric team, right? If I kill their wizard, but I die. Like, say I killed their wizard, but I died. And now it's my cleric and my wizard versus their cleric and their fighter. My cleric and wizard are going to win that 100% of the time. Like, that's just a matchup diff. They are never going to lose that. So your whole goal is to put your team in a position where they cannot lose the fight. The thing is, most of these fights, I go in and I kill their backliner. I haven't died, because when the backliner's dead, no one can kill me anymore. So as long as you do your job effectively and you use your movement very, very well, which is the whole point of the build is move speed, you can perform some very, very good things. So if you the thing is, this gear, this is an expensive build to play, but not incredibly expensive. This isn't gonna cost you 10 keys to play, right? You could start playing this build for the same price as a good other fighter build, 2 to 3k gold. You could probably put a solid build together. It's not gonna be insane, but it'll work. You run blue rings, blue necklace, blue the rest of the stuff. You don't need wolf hunters. You don't need a crazy necklace or crazy jewelry or legendary gear. You can run this in blue and purple gear that's just decent. It's not gonna work as well as it will in insane gear, but it'll still work. So get out there, do God's work, and eliminate these wizards from the dungeons. I'm telling you, go forth with a glorious purpose to kill these wizards. I believe in you. And when you do, tell them Tidefather sent you. But alright, thank you guys for watching. If you have any thoughts or opinions or questions you would ask about the build, feel free to drop them down below. Also, something I am worth mentioning. I am playing Elf. So this is something that I am doing just pretty much for every character now. The reason being, I didn't really think about it too much, but if you look at my stats, look, I'm 155 HP, 98% speed. I unequip Elf, go back to human. I gain 1 HP and I lose 0.3% speed, and you don't always even lose or gain 1 HP. At default gear, if you swap to Elf, literally default gear, 15 across the board, you don't lose any HP, but you still gain the move speed. So Elf is pretty much just better across the board now than Strength is, or than Human is, because the Strength is very, very irrelevant. Used to be more relevant when you lost more HP. and damage. But I mean, you still lose damage technically, but one strength worth of damage is literally not even like 1 point of damage difference. It's completely irrelevant. So Elf is the best race for these for French fighter builds in general. So yeah, go out there, do what needs to be done, and you say if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, opinions, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, if you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. We just hit 2,000 subscribers recently, and that is fucking fantastic. I think it's awesome. I did not think I would ever get here when I started making YouTube videos, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, I will catch y'all later. Peace.